So, in this video, I'll be talking about why Liverpool will become champions of England. Thanks once again for tuning in. And yeah, let's get started. I mean, as you already know, Liverpool are 6 points clear at the top of the table with a game in hand, superior goal difference, as I touched on in my review after we beat Ipswich Town by 4 goals to 1 at Anfield. But first things first, the table doesn't lie. Liverpool have been the best team in the league by far, and I would expect us to finish the job off. But let's go back at the start of the season. So obviously, the transfer window wasn't the best. We definitely needed to recruit a lot better. But Arne has been absolutely amazing. He has exceeded expectations in his first season. A few people thought that Liverpool would struggle. Actually, I wasn't in that camp at all. I did still think that we would challenge for the title, and looking at the situation now, we are in a position where we are favourites to win the league by far, and we have been pretty much since November, to be fair. And honestly, the likes of Gakpo, Gravenberch, Soboslai have stepped up immensely, since Arne Slot has taken over. That's not to say they weren't brilliant last season, but especially Gravenberch, he has settled in to the team very nicely. Obviously, it was clear that we were after a defensive midfield player, Zubimendi, for example, but he decided to stay, and it turned out to be a blessing for Liverpool. Gravenberch has been unbelievable in that defensive midfield role. His skill set, his ability on the ball, the way he creates and maneuvers space, he has been one of our best players of the season, and I'll be shocked if he's not in the team of the season. But there are many underlying reasons why Liverpool will go on and win the league. Obviously, it's not official yet. We still got to win a few more games. I would look at it and say maybe 10 more games we would need to win, or 11 more games, and this is assuming Arsenal start picking up, because it doesn't look like they are going to pick up at the moment. They will win games, of course. They are a very good side, but at the same time, they have dropped points, as we've seen already against Aston Villa and Brighton recently. So, yeah, I mean, as a Liverpool fan, I am so confident that we will win the league. If I had to give a percentage right now, I would say 90%. But as I said earlier, I'm still waiting for that game in hand, which is the derby. We've got a very tricky one against Bournemouth as well, which we will need to win, of course, to put ourselves 9 points clear before Arsenal host Manchester City, who are coming into a bit of form in the league now. I believe they've won 4 of their last 5 games in the league. So, yeah, but for me, the main reason boils down to this. It's just the performance. The performances have been unbelievable. The way the players have implemented or taken to Arne Slot's tactics this quickly is quite impressive. I love watching Liverpool right now. The patterns of play, the way we generate chances, it's different, and I love it. And obviously, down the years under Jurgen Klopp, we were incredible with our energy, our pressing, our counter attacks. We were scoring goals in so many different ways, and the two styles are different, but you can still see that Slot has implemented his own ideas into the team without really taking anything away from what the team was doing previously. There's still that elements of pressing, winning the ball back quickly, that aggression on and off the ball, which is amazing. Honestly, I am so happy when I watch Liverpool play at their best, and I would expect us to finish the job, but yeah, for me, that's my main reason. The main reason why I feel like Liverpool will go on and win the league is because the body of work is there. 9 times out of 10, we're always performing very well. We're trying to dominate the game, and even when we've had games where we haven't had the ball as much as we'd like, i.e. against Chelsea at Anfield when we won 2-1, and Manchester City 2-0 as well at Anfield, we didn't really control those games like for as long as we would have wanted. I'm pretty sure Slot would have wanted more control in those games, but we won the game. Sometimes you have to adjust. We were still by far the better team, especially against Manchester City, of course, who were struggling at the time. But honestly, I am so confident that Liverpool will win the league, and I would expect nothing less at this stage. Anything less from here would be a complete collapse, I have to be honest with you. And like I said earlier, realistically, the only team that can, make things slightly interesting is Arsenal, and I would imagine a few more drop points for them will see us become champions of England. But the main question isn't really whether Liverpool will win the league. I think we are on course to do so unless something dramatic happens. The main question here is, can Liverpool win the treble? Can Liverpool win the quadruple? Now, those are the questions that are going to be, very difficult to answer. I mean, my personal opinion on the quadruple is this. I don't think we're going to do it. It hasn't been done before. It's very difficult. As amazing as we are, we're a world-class team, of course, but it is so demanding, to win the Prem, Champions League, League Cup and FA Cup. I mean, the squad would have to stay fit and we would literally need to be relentless, which we are, but it is difficult. But I do think a treble is more feasible. We can definitely win the League Cup and the FA Cup on top of the Prem, or we can win the Champions League alongside the Prem and one of the domestic cups, whether that's the FA Cup or the League Cup. Right now, obviously, we still have a deficit to overturn against Spurs, and I would fancy our chances to do that. I'm not going to lie to you. But yeah, all in all, I am I'm very, very happy with this team, and I fully expect us to win the league. We're scoring goals for fun, and as you see with the team, we're defending a lot better. Konate and Van Dijk are literally the best centre-back pairing in the world, Obviously, the last few years, Gabriel and Saliba have done incredibly well, but this season, it's not a debate, Konate and Virgil have been immense at the back. And even though Robertson hasn't been himself this season, he still has had some very good games. Trent has had an excellent season, to be fair to you, barring that Manchester United game. And since that Manchester United game, he has been unbelievable, producing the goods defensively and offensively. Got another assist yesterday, a blinding cross for Cody Gakpo to head home. Also Dominic Szoboszlai, what a footballer he is. He's had his ups and downs. When he first arrived at the club, he was unplayable. He was the engine in that midfield, and we all know how technically good he is. I've watched a lot of Bundesliga football, and he was Leipzig's best player in spells. He scored in the final against Eintracht Frankfurt, to make it back-to-back Pokal wins for RB Leipzig. And I always knew he was going to be a good signing for Liverpool, and he's proving that very true, to be fair. And he's picked it up lately. You can see when he's in the team, there's a different energy, on and off the ball with Szoboszlai. He's a sharpshooter as well. He got a brilliant goal yesterday, and I'm pretty sure he can score even more goals for this team, So he's going to be a huge player in the next couple of seasons. And I'm very happy with how he's doing at the moment. But for me, it's the entire team. We're a well-oiled machine. We are relentless. We barely have any flaws. Obviously, we can do a little bit better defensively. In the last, let's say, 6 or 7 games, we have been conceding the odd goal out of nowhere. But I believe that will return. Like I said, the momentum is now back with us. We've won 3 games in a row in all competitions. And let's not forget, we were 24 games unbeaten, before we lost to Spurs in that first leg of the Carabao Cup away from home in London. And there's no reason why we can't go on another run like that. And if we do, we put ourselves in a fantastic position, not only to win the Premier League, but also the Champions League, the League Cup, the FA Cup. And obviously the Champions League will be difficult to win. I mean, Kylian Mbappe was on fire for Real Madrid yesterday. It looks like he's coming into a bit of form now, and he's showing exactly why he is considered arguably the best player in the world. Fantastic finishes if you haven't seen already. So the Champions League is the Champions League. You can never write teams off, like Real Madrid. So for me, that remains the toughest competition to win, especially for us right now, since we're comfortable in the league. Even though I still make us favourites for the Champions League, there are teams like Inter, Real Madrid, possibly Bayern Munich, even though Bayern Munich were awful in their last game against Feyenoord, losing 3-0, even though they had chances, but Bijlo, the Feyenoord goalkeeper, was amazing, made some fantastic saves. But you get my point. At the end of the day, it's going to be difficult to win the Champions League, no matter how dominant you are in your own league. The Champions League is the Champions League, and boy, I can't wait for the draw. The draw is going to be insane, the playoff draws, before we get to the last 16. And we've got a game now to look forward to in Eindhoven against PSV. I would imagine Slot will rest a few of the players, before that big one against Bournemouth. we've just got to focus on the league now. In the next, let's say, few weeks to 1 month, we've got to wrap up the league, you know, completely wrap it up. If we can go 9 points clear or more, you would like to think that's it. You know, Liverpool will win the league, and it's just going to be a matter of when it's confirmed, you know, rather than if. But let me know in the comments what you think. What do you think Liverpool's ceiling is this season? Do you think we will just win the Premier League, or do you think we're capable of adding a few more trophies on the table, you know, whether that's the FA Cup, the League Cup, the quadruple? Honestly, if you ask me, it is possible, but it's very difficult, you know. It's not something I think about every day, you know, when I watch the season, when I watch the team. But a double or a treble is definitely more than possible. The quad is difficult. The quad is difficult, but hey, if you give me the Premier League, I'm more than happy, you know. But given that we're in this position, there is no reason why we can't win an extra trophy or two. But yeah, just to wrap up, let me know what you think, and I would appreciate it, you know, if you could hit a like and a subscribe. You know, this channel is fast growing, and yeah, I'm building some momentum myself in terms of creating more videos and doing more uploads. But yeah, just going back to the point, Liverpool for me have a brilliant chance of winning the treble at least, you know. And let's see where this takes us. Obviously, the Premier League, I don't want to talk as if the Premier League is completely shut down and it's won, but it is on the brink, that's for sure. So like I said, let me know what you think of Liverpool's season so far. You know, obviously it's a 10 out of 10 so far, but we still have to finish off the business, you know. And at the bare minimum, I would expect us to win the Premier League and the League Cup if we do come back against Spurs, who, as I've done a video on them earlier, they are awful at the moment. So I would expect that to be the case. You know, I'd expect us to come back for that. But if not, I expect us to win the FA Cup as well. So let's see what happens, you know. But one thing's for sure, as Liverpool fans, we have got to enjoy this, you know. What a time. And whatever happens, I'm pretty sure there will be a good ending to this for sure. But for me, the main thing is the Premier League. As long as we win the Premier League, our season is a success and a half, and that's all I can ask for right now. And what an amazing you know, period that we're in right now. Arne just needs to continue doing what he's doing, you know, because it is working, you know. He hasn't really been backed, you know, by the ownership, and I'm going to probably make a separate video on FSG and, you know, the things that we can do better, that we should do better moving forward. But all in all, I'm very pleased, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.